We run, we win. Hello guys, this is James, and today we're going to talk about the Christian Sludge Fund. The examples are coming up here on the screen, but the church does not have a money problem. Never did. Never will have a money problem. What they have is a love of money problem. The Bible says in Malachi chapter 3, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And proving now herewith, if I want to open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there may not be room enough to receive. The Church of Lord King Jesus Christ, you are supposed to give God 10%. This is not a suggestion. This is not a debate. You have to do it. That is part of the mandate. Abraham paid tithes. Jacob promised to God to pay tithes. Guys, it's all through the whole Bible. Before the law came in with Moses, after the law went out with Jesus Christ, tithes is still being referred to inside the New Testament after, in the epistles after. Read Hebrews and stuff like that. And so we're going to talk about the Christian Sludge Fund. If the church paid tithes, this is going to be a really short example to explain to you how the church would not have a problem with money. Let's start with 10 people. Let's say if there are 10, you have a congregation and 10 people in your congregation make $500 a month. There's only 10 people in the congregation who are working. You may have 25 total, but you know some kids aren't working. So let's say you have 10 people in the congregation who are all working, and they all make just $500 a month. Well, if 10 people make $500 a month, that means that's $5,000 total for the congregation. And if you do 10% of that, if everyone pays 10% of $500 a month, which is $50, that will give the church $500 a month. A congregation, which is basically a home church with 10 people, would be bringing in $500 a month. Everything they need should be taken care of. Which would actually, if you add it up to times 12, that is $6,000 a year for a 10-person congregation. Just 10 people. That's a home group. Let's move up to 50. If you have 50 people who are only making $500 a month, I mean $500 a month, that is, they're 50 people, they only make, that's $250 every 2 weeks. That's like $125 a week, and they only make $500 a month. Well, that is $250,000 total for these 50 people, and their tithe going into the church will be $2,500 a month, going into a church with just 50 people. That's 50 people. That's like a storefront church with $2,500 a month. That should be able to take care of their rent. Times 12 would be the church would be bringing in $30,000 a year. A 50-person church will be bringing $30,000 a year if they only make $500 a month. Now let's say you have a 100-person congregation. That's a general small congregation. You know, in the United States of America, 100 persons is a general small congregation. And if 100 people in the congregation are making $500 a month, that is $50,000 total for the congregation income that each person, that the group is making together. Now, if they all pay their tithes, that means this 100-person church will be making $5,000 a month. There goes your youth trips, all paid for. 1 month, 2 months, man, you could probably go anywhere you want to. There's your children's excursions, all paid for. That's $5,000 a month for just 100 people. Times that times 12, that's $60,000. This is still probably a storefront church. $60,000 a year for a storefront church of just 100 people. That's $60,000 a year. Let's do a medium regular size congregation in the United States of America. Good 500-person congregation. You have 500 people in a regular medium sized building, and they make $500 a month. Now we're talking $500 a month. 500. That's less than minimum wage. They're making just say $500 a month. That should be less than minimum wage in the United States. They're just making $500 a month, and that is $250,000 for the whole group. 500 people who make $500 a month are actually making $250,000. That's $250,000 a month. That is $25,000 a month for the church. A church with just 500 people could make $25,000 a month. The pastor's salary would be taken care of. I mean, if you were paying the pastor $5,000, you still have $20,000 left over. Come on, guys. The church has been shortchanging the pastors and themselves. Times that by 12. God, don't get upset. Don't get upset at yourself. Listen, times that times 12. That is $300,000 a year for a 500-person congregation. Just a 500,000 person congregation is $300,000 a year. I think your building fund would be taken care of. Now, if you get a larger size church, we'll say 1,000 people, that's not really considered large in the United States of America, but we'll just a good 1,000, let's say third tier large, third tier large, 1,000 people. That, let's say a large church that people consider a large rural church, in a city. If they're making that'd be a third tier. They're making $500 a month. Guys, that's if 1,000 people in your church are making $500 a month, that's $500,000. That's $500,000 a month. That is 50, guys, there's no shortage of money. That's $50,000 a month a 1,000 person congregation would bring in if they paid their tithes when they were only making $500 a month. That would be, guys, did I do something wrong? Oh, for the 500 people, that'd be 300. Make sure you look at whatever this was. That would be $300,000 for the 500 congregation. For the 1,000 congregation, I want to, get that right. Yeah, look at this. I made a mistake, but that would be $300,000 a year for a 500 person congregation. Hey, your building fund's still taken care of. 1,000, that would be $600,000 a year. If I did it correctly, you said, yeah, 5. Okay, correct. I want to correct on the 500. That'd be $600,000 a year for a 1,000 person congregation. 1,000 people making $500 make this total of $500,000 for the whole church's income that they're making. $5,000 a month for tithes is going into the church. The church is getting $50,000 a month. I've got these K's and stuff. $600K a year, guys. A 1,000. I've been in a church that has about 1,000 people, and I've been in several churches that had 1,000 people, about more than 1,000. And they were all making $500 a month, 1,000 people, and then that'd be $600,000 a year. That's just $400,000 less than $1 million. 500,000, second tier church. Now that we're talking about, we're moving up into maybe a city that's medium size. They're not a major metropolitan city, but a medium sized city. If you got 500,000 people in the congregation and they're only making $500 a month, guys, that's $2.5 million a month that group is making themselves. And that would be, do the tithe out of that, that's $250,000 a month. That 5,000 member church would be pulling in $250,000 a month. You should be able to do TV, radio, books, anything. A year, that's $3 million a year for just a 5,000 person congregation. You're understanding where these numbers are going. You see where they're going. Now let's say a regular large church, we'll top it down to 10,000 people. Just a regular church. Your church has 10,000 people? Guys, teach tithes. This is not a joke. The church needs to be able to do what it needs to do and have its job without trying to, we'll talk about that, without having all this problems and strain. If you have a 10,000 member church and they only make and the 10,000 members who are working in the church only make $500 a month, guys, that is $5 million a month that they are making. That's 10,000 people who only make $500 a year. And that would be $500,000 a month. Guys, that's that's $500,000. That is $500,000 that, come on guys. That's $500,000, my friend. That's $500,000 that a 5,000 person congregation is pulling in. And what would that be over? Now that's $500,000 a month. Your 500 person congregation will be bringing $500,000, guys. And that's if you have 10,000 members in your church and they're only making $500. Go that by the year, boom. What do you have? You have $6 million a year for a. That's a brand new building a year. If you were to save up only half of what you were making, you'd be that'd be $3 million you could have tucked away a year. All your missions trips are already paid for. Anything you want to do with that church is already paid for. 500,000 members, I mean, anything. We're talking about, if you had 10,000, it's coming up. I know it's coming up. It's got to be the next one after this. Here it is. 10,000 members, 500,000 a month, 5 million. That's $6 million a year, guys. Now the average U.S. Now where is this going? The average U.S. household, in a study, I believe it was from 2008, 2012, the average was just $4,100 a month. Now, if you have a 500-person congregation and they only made $4,100 a month, and they pay 10% of their tithes, that would be $250,000 a month for a 500-person congregation. Now, that's a 500-person congregation only pulling in $4,100 a month. I rounded it down to $4,100 a month. That's a $250,000 a month for a 500-person congregation. That's $3 million a year. Guys, the church doesn't have a money problem. It has a love of money problem. If every Christian paid their tithes for a month, every church literally would come out the red into the black. Guys, paying tithes is quintessentially important to running the church. You don't need to have bake sales. You don't need to have run-a-thons. You don't need to have, I think we did rockathons for one thing some years ago. You don't have, listen, if the people pay their tithes, the church won't have fundraisers. They won't have to be asking, you should offer people the opportunity to give, because they're sowing in the kingdom, they'll reap. 100-fold. That's what the Bible says. Anyone who gives up anything for the kingdom gets 100-fold. But it's so important, guys. 10 members, 500. Come on. It's there. The money's there. The doctrine isn't. If you put the doctrine of tithes back inside the church will not lack for anything. The church won't need anything. You need a brand new bus. 100 million, 100 members, 5,000 K a month for just 100 members. I mean, come on, guys. In 1 year, you'd be able to buy a brand new bus. If you had 500 members, you'd probably be able to buy a brand new bus in like less than 6 months. Cash. 300,000. I mean, 300,000. I mean, there's a bus. How many buses is that? 600. Come on, guys. You see how simple this is, and it's up. I love you. Thanks for joining me. Be blessed in the name of living Lord King Jesus Christ. Like, comment, subscribe. And remember, live, move, be.